boys, Tom from Airsoft here, and we're here at this lovely resort for the Miss International.
Okay guys, so we are in the resort right now where the convention for the Wolverine Tech Summit is happening. We're about to head over to the Wolverine new headquarters. We just were inside all morning learning about all the new tech and doing some technical class and stuff, getting hands-on experience. We're going to head over right now and show you their new facilities and stuff, so stay tuned.
Hi guys, Tom from Airsoft here, and we are here in Kingsport, Tennessee for the Wolverine Tech Summit. I'm going to go through the day today and just talk about what we were doing. There's a few things we aren't going to be able to go over. Saw some cool stuff, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the main thing is how much information we are getting down here. So what they had to start with was the Wolverine Gen 2 Inferno, went over the specifics of that engine, and then we got hands-on with it. What we did was we basically were given Wolverine Gen 2 Inferno, had our tools set up, got hands-on with it, but they were all sabotaged. So we all had to go about diagnosing why it was leaking, why the solenoid might not be firing, and a few different things. And each person in the room had a different sabotage. And when they would figure it out, Rich would go over what the sabotage was, what the fix was, and why that occurs. These are all things that they've been dealing with as repairs since the Inferno Gen 2 came out. And so that's kind of where all the sabotages came from, which I thought was a really cool touch, because it's just the amount of history they have and information about their own system that really adds to their knowledge base. So after that, we got a little sneak peek at a few new items to come. Very cool, interesting items, few updates on some old stuff, but can't really talk too much about that right now. There will be more information coming out about that later, and we'll do an update video when that happens. We headed into the tours of the factory and the lunch. Got to see their brand new facility that's they're still kind of putting together. They have a lot of their production floor pretty much all set up, which is awesome to see. It looks like a very professional factory. If you go to any big company that does manufacturing, it looks like that production floor. It's pretty insane. Think of like an automotive manufacturing plant. If you see a video of that, just think of it on a much smaller scale. It looks to that level. It is very, very professional. It's very cool to see. And it's also very cool that they let us go in there and take a look at that stuff just to see how they're manufacturing these things. They're one of the only US-made airsoft guns, which I think is really cool that they let us go in and see that. We then headed up to their machine shop area, which was actually their old facility. Those machines are gigantic, so they're going to be moving those over in a little bit. But they have even more machines than when we were down here last time. They walked us through how they cut and machined all the uppers and lowers and rails and barrels and everything that they make into an MTW. Went through the cleaning process and how that whole thing works. It's really impressive, and it's really, again, at a very high level. After lunch, we headed back into the conference area and got more hands-on experience with disassembly, repair, and reassembly of regulators. Specifically the Cat 5. Specifically the in-grip Cat 5 that they are releasing. Grip regulator goes, it's very impressive, and it's very cool how they addressed some of the engineering problems that some of the one-piece systems use. Their splits open, which I think is a really good thing for servicing. I don't think a lot of people think about that, but the one thing about that is it is for the MTW. Right now, it's not for the AEG, so it will only fit MTWs. Very cool system, and like I said, got hands-on with that. This time it wasn't sabotaged, they just had us disassemble and then change the O-rings out and then reassemble. Company that has techs, or you yourself are a tech and have some type of company or work a lot with Wolverine products, you should consider coming down to this Tech Summit. It is some of the best information you can get on any of their products. They are very informative. They are not afraid to tell you how exactly things are made and why they're made that way. After we took apart the regulators and rebuilt them, Rich started going into a lot of just Q&A, general things to think about, and we started learning more about the Wraith X. And one cool thing about this entire afternoon was that all we were doing was working with one regulator, but all the different applications they've used it for. At one point, Rich actually made a joke about modularity in that one of his stocks could be turned into kind of a gas mask style stock, which I found very humorous because all of their stuff is very modular. Every single component that they use for these regulators has just been adapted to different formats. And it's really cool to see how they have done that. This has been an awesome experience so far, and it's been a blast, and I really want to thank Wolverine for having us down, and we're going to continue to learn more and hopefully pass that on to you guys as well.
I got that. I got that on camera. I got that on camera. Yes, finally.
Oh, that's never gonna be deleted.
No, it's not!
Fuck.